The problem is black nationalism. Black nationalism is the misguided notion that blacks or African Americans should have their own country with all of the accoutrements that goes hand in hand with owning your own country within the borders of the United States of America, which in itself is a farce, for America is really a global corporation entity. But you know, that's a whole other story. The leaders of this noxious movement, the NAACP, Black Caucus, Sharpton, Jackson, Holder, Obama, they pretend to fight for the plight of the impoverished black man or woman. Yet they get richer while the black community continues to be disenfranchised, disillusioned, deluded, and deranged. They are robbing the poor black communities blind. Federal funding that's supposed to go to the poor gets spread out amongst the black politicians that have been in charge of the same ghettos for decades. And no changes have ever been affected. Same old, same old. Why should they let their cash cow in on the secret? Just keep blaming Whitey and the federal government for not assisting you while they walking around in bespoke suits and Louboutins and driving luxury cars and living in middle class to wealthy neighborhoods. But since they know the average ghetto rat is too ignorant and too apathetic to ask the necessary whys, they have been able to rob and pillage the black community forever. Their only quest is to give the black poor inferiority complexes so that they will stay enraged. We're taught by the black nationalist jargon that we can't overcome, that we should succumb to generational economic poorness, that we should have no future in this society, and that we should accept government handout for the rest of our lives because America owes us for slavery. Of course, using the Saul Alinsky mass mob mindset like a herd of wild boars, destroying everything in your wake. Tell me where that's normal. You should really take a close look at the gleam of madness that is present in the eyes of every liberal. It's truly frightening. Black nationalism demoralizes us and incapacitates us as a race. It causes us to be parasites on society. It makes us believe there's no way out because the deck is stacked too high for us to jump over. It teaches us that we can't overcome because Whitey is holding us down, instead of teaching us to be self-reliant and independent. They use class envy and jealousy instead of fostering forgiveness and encouraging us to become successful as we can as individuals, which would then strengthen us as a people. If there were only white doctors, lawyers, scientists, stockbrokers, luxury real estate agents, accountants, celebrities, professional athletes, entertainers, teachers, politicians, professors, judges, upper middle class, millionaires, or even billionaires, and there was no affirmative action, no equal opportunity, or no black president, then I could see black people acting a fool. But since there is a large number of black people who occupy these positions in the hundreds of thousands, and there is affirmative action, and there is equal opportunity, and there is a mulatto president, then I truly don't understand why black nationalists continue to enrage impoverished and uneducated blacks about their status. Because it's already been proven that we can do whatever we want to do. We just have to want to. And herein lies the issues to the Concrete Jungle Club members, also known as the ghetto or the hood or the projects. We have people who have been conditioned by the black elite, also known as the Boule and the Black Greek letter organizations, our kind of people. They have been conditioned to hate themselves, to hate blacks who are productive, to hate local laws and authorities, and to take what they want because Whitey owes us for what happened during slavery. Concrete Jungle members They destroy their own living environment, pissing in stairwells and elevators, graffiti and tagging all over the place, being destructive and tearing down where you live, robbing from, stealing from, and killing your own neighbors and family members. Who told you to do that? You can't blame your animalistic behavior on whitey. You have too many opportunities available, but you prefer to do nothing and complain. We have welfare for the women who have litters and depend on the working class to take care of them, their kids, and their destitute, lazy, good-for-nothing mooching men, whose only mission in life is to provide stud service as to many women as they can, while refusing to take care of their spawns. Spay and neuter, I say, spay and neuter. No more welfare until you either snip and clip or get birth control implants, since you refuse to use responsibility and use contraceptives rather. It's sad to say, but Margaret Sanger might have been onto something with sterilizing those who won't take care of their litters, but they continue to breed just because they can, so that they can obtain governmental assistance. Those folks really are defective and least fit to have kids. We have Section 8 and ninja loans for those who feel that they deserve to live in houses with yards. Yet when they move in with their ghetto mentality, they bring their degenerate friends and families to sit outside at all times of day and night, making noise, fighting, loud cursing, keeping littered and unkempt yards, and watching. Nothing makes me no madder than for somebody to sit there and just... It's the watching that pisses me off. Same ones there when I leave to go to my place of business in the morning and when I come home at night. We now have Disney characters and toys that reflect our race, and guess what? Annie and Daddy Warbucks are now black too. I mean, I just don't understand what you want. You have everything that is being offered to you. If you want more, then you do more. Get your simple behinds off of street corners and go find employment and go to school and get a trade and become productive members of society. Stop getting your information from your local barber and bodega corners and do some independent research for once in your pathetic, disjointed lives. No one told your lazy behinds to drop out of school. You did it to yourself. Stop blaming the society for your failures in the system. Al Sharpton is a step-and-fetch-it Uncle Tom Sambo puppet for the elite. His only job? Keep blacks inflamed. Stop race wars. Make excuses for why blacks are acting like animals, burning down and destroying where they live. This man, as well as all of the black liberals, suffer from generational histrionic personality disorder, which is a mental disease condition in which people act in very emotional and dramatic ways to draw attention to themselves. This disease has affected and infected entire generations of blacks because of black nationalist drivel. Yes, racism is alive and well. We can't get around the fact that no matter what, there are people who are going to hate you because of the color of your skin. That's a fact. It's a sad one, but it's a true one. You can't make no one accept you. You can't make them respect you. You can't make them like you. So stop trying. But what you can do is accept yourself, respect yourself, love yourself, and do right by yourself, and have pride in yourself. You must learn to do for yourself. Become independent in thought and action, and stop waiting for other races to show you the way. Raise your own self-esteem. Being a constructive, responsible, contributing, working member of society is a good start, because you get warm and fuzzy feelings when you do right. You can look a white cop in the eye and give him a head nod because you know you riding clean and all your paperwork is in order. Get the rich and quick, easy scheme out of your head. Not everybody's going to be a famous rapper, athlete, or celebrity. Never stop pursuing your dreams, but work or get an education while you're at it. Get the woe is me slavery mentality out of your life. Thoughts become things, so you are continually attracting to yourself grievous lives and experiences. It's called self-fulfilling prophecy. And Al Sharpton and all the rest of the degenerate black so-called leaders know this, and they're using your own mind against you. Yes, slavery was horrible, and there's a reason for slavery that I won't get into, but it dates way back to the land of Kemet, ancient Egypt. However, we as a people cannot stay there. We must move on and take advantage of the opportunities that we have now. We begin to heal emotionally when we heal the mind. I just don't get it. It's no secret that racism is alive and well in all races. It's no secret that had it not been for affirmative action, many whites would not have one black face present in their business establishments. So in order to combat historical racism towards blacks and other people of color, and give them an even playing field, voila, affirmative action measures were instituted. Part 2 coming very shortly. Part 2. But due to rampant black nationalist ideology being preached in the inner cities, read ghettos, most of these people have not taken advantage of the opportunities presented to them and have adopted a rather lackadaisical and distant attitude towards life and responsibility. They've chosen instead to become wombat wards of the state, sitting around every month or 2 weeks or whatever it is, waiting for their government check. They'd rather stand on street corners all day, trying to get with a working woman so their lazy, idle behinds can sit around all day scratching their nuts and plotting who to rob and pillage next. Boy Sharpton, you are one parasitical wolf spider. Very manipulative. Why aren't you telling these young black men to get off the street corner so that they won't be innocent bystanders when the cops come through throwing their idle behinds up against the wall, and tell them to go either get a job or go back to school, and stop hassling the working ladies as they walking by in the morning like I used to see when I lived in New York in the Bronx, or for the Grand Concourse. I'm walking to work and I see niggas standing up on the street corner talking about, hey, what's up? Hey, miss, can I walk with you to the train station? Man, I used to... Whew, just even thinking about that. Here's another able-bodied man the same age as I am, and you standing up on the street corner in front of the liquor store asking somebody, a woman, can you walk her to work? So Al, why don't you tell them to get their behinds a job, a trade, a skill, go to school, go get their GED, but get their behinds off of a street corner hassling people and being in the way of traffic. People got to walk around them on the way to work. Y'all know I'm telling the truth. I don't care whether you want to get with me or not. You got to walk around these Negroes standing in the middle of the street, in the sidewalk. Al, why aren't you telling the community that the men that were killed were wrong to resist arrest? And why aren't you now cautioning these buffoons to always comply with the police? Keep their mouths shut. Don't be back-mouthing them and telling them what you're going to do and all of this bravado crap. Tell them don't be jittery. Why you not telling them don't be jumpy? Don't be reaching for to scratch your behind or nothing. You just stand still. I mean, because at least if you can keep your wits about you and go to a place where you're calm and no matter what, you're just not going to give these people a chance to shoot you. You'll live to tell your side of the story another day. Makes me sick. Let me tell you something. I have to go do my due diligence every single morning to get up to go to my place of business and open it up and prepare for customers. Now, I happen to look out my bedroom window. I look downstairs just looking out to see what the weather's about. And there's my neighbor down there, Section 8 guy. He don't go to work. He don't do nothing. And he down there scratching his balls and looking around and wiping the matter out of his eye. And I just slammed my doggone blinds back. Woo! Al Sharpton and his ilk, the NAACP, the Black Panthers, the Black Caucus, and all these other black liberation movements. You guys are the detriment to the overall progress of black America moving forward. You're always pulling the scabs off of wounds. You're all blights. You're famines. So now, Eric, what about the black self-hating sociopath cops? I fear them more than I do those hillbilly, inbred, loggerhead, white boy racist cops. I mean, you know, there are black cops who hate their own. They hate their own color. They hate the black poor. and they relish busting another black man upside his head and watching his life force just flow out on the ground. I mean, what you gonna do about those guys, Eric Holder? I mean, let's get all of the races. Let's not just get the white cops to shooting the black kids or black men, or get the white cops to shooting even the other white people. Let's get the black cops that are also shooting white people, but as well they are abusing their own. Let's racially profile them. Let's make sure that they get training so that they don't racially profile their own people. It seems like we always want to skip over what's going on in our own communities and just continually go to whiteys when the black cops are doing. So I watched it. I used to live in New York. I lived on Teller Avenue. I watched black cops just messing with black people for no reason at all. So don't tell me that it's not done in the inner city neighborhoods. I've been there and I've done that. Let's hone in on an institutionalized mindset that has been perpetuated upon blacks by our so-called black leaders. And that is, we deserve everything we want because of what the white man done to us. They'd rather keep rehashing the injustices instead of moving on and addressing present issues in a constructive manner. But even if you wanted to, oh ghetto rats, you can't, because Sharpton, Holder, the NAACP, and other noxious entities, they won't let you. They want you to stay angry so that they can use you to fulfill their purpose. You are a cash cow to them, because nobody's really doing any kind of investigations, and they don't really have a close eye on the money that the federal government is giving into the impoverished neighborhoods. So we keep, or you guys keep electing the same people over and over and over and over and over again. Some seats are generational. You just already know, okay, well, we know we're going to elect Mr. such and such nephew in or whatever. Don't care whether the people have any qualifications, nothing. Where's the money what's happening to the money that's going into the black communities when it's nothing but black and Latino or people of color that are the politicians that are in charge of these communities? Why are you not asking that? Because you don't know to ask these things. You think that these people are really helping you, and they're really not. That's why they keep their hands, and they don't want the white man. They don't want the outsiders coming in and doing investigations and putting an eye on what's going on in the communities. They want you to continue to be just as disinterested in your life as you are, so that they can continue to rob from you. And that's the only thing that these black liberation mongrels are doing. Because if they've had control of the black communities for the last 50 years, as long as I've been alive, and the communities are only getting worse, then what does that tell you? It's not the system's fault. It's not the white man's fault, because he's afraid to come into the ghettos. It's the black politicians and leaders that you have elected to lead you to the promised land, and they're not leading you nowhere. When's the last time one of y'all wore or had anything that was new and nice in your communities? They talk about they're gonna put up skill centers in the community centers, and half the time they don't have the people staffing, the people not there. They don't have the right tools, the right nothing. Just, oh God, it's just so disgusting. It's so disgusting. And it's the black leaders that are doing it to their own people, because they're not killing us off quick enough, I guess. Now they figure we just keep you dumb and dull and lifeless and brainless so that you won't cause any problems unless we need you to go become a mob somewhere and force people to do what we want them to do, like Saul Alinsky said to do. So these black leaders, all they want to do is keep you angry. They want to keep you, enraging you to the point where you can't even distinguish right from wrong. And herein lies the issues with black liberalism. You won't admit when anything is wrong, when it's white against black, just because it's the color and the race thing. That's how sick and diseased your minds are. You got white apologetics that are just as sad as the black liberals. You know, since you can't distinguish right from wrong, let me help you. It's wrong to commit crimes. Go to school or get a job, you buffoon, with your thieving, trifling selves. It's wrong to fight cops when they come to apprehend you for your alleged crimes. When you're caught in the middle of doing your damn dirt, you dirtbag thief, robber, or murderer, lay your criminal fourth point of contact on the ground and just assume the position. Wear your stainless steel bracelets with pride because you earned them. I mean, I'm just not that guy. You know, I mean, people get angry with me. They get angry with black conservatives because we are not little puppies and we're not little rats and roaches that just want to be coddled and taken care of for the rest of our lives. And the black nationalists teach you and tell you that we are nobodies, that we're somebody to hate. Look at them coon dogs going to work for the man every day. Yeah, but we're bringing in checks. I'm paying for your illegitimate kids. They don't want you to contribute to your own livelihood. And it's just a shame that they just need to dismantle the NAACP, dismantle the Black Caucus. What are you guys there for? For the last 100 or more years, all you've been is a pestilence and, like I said, a blight on the black community. You have done nothing to help blacks. And the poor blacks don't understand. These are the black elites that are in charge of you. These boule, all kind of people, no darker than a paper bag people that you have in charge of your lives. What do you think that they're saying around the table while they're being served by their maid? What do you think they're thinking about you when they look at your faces and they driving by in their chauffeur-driven cars and they're looking at you on the corner? What do you think they're thinking about you? They don't care about you. All they care about is how many people they can enrage. I just want to know how much y'all get per person that y'all can get out to y'all mob fest. How many people do you get for how much money do you get for people getting locked up? Because you're in it for something. You're not doing it just for because you can just raise hell. You know? You're doing it because you have an agenda. And your agenda is to help the Margaret Sangers, the Planned Parenthoods, the Obamas, who gave this white woman praise and honor and said that we need to strive to be like her. And what's that? Killing off our black people? Is that some subliminal stuff? Black liberalism, it will never agree with me. I don't agree with your theology that you have placed inside of the black communities where you adopted the religion of the Catholics, just a watered down version. They let us do our thing, but we still going by exactly what they want you to do, what they want you to believe. And here we are gods. Everybody is a god. And it wasn't until I started meditating and came in contact with my true self that I realized there is really no death. That there is no heaven and no hell. There is no sin. There is no guilt. These things that they continually impress upon your conscience to keep you subjugated to their will. If we can keep them guilty and thinking about stuff, we can keep them, you know, in a defeated state of mind. But I've gone past that. I've gone places in meditation that preachers have never gone in prayer. Because I've gotten in touch with myself, my true self, which is the living God. All of this stuff that's around us is illusions. And they have people fighting and killing one another over illusions. This stuff isn't even real. Color is not real. And these people know this because they're educated. Learn how to meditate and come into your own self and your own mind. Even the Bible tells you, even though these people are misquoting and misinterpreting the Bible, it tells you in there that every man is born with something inside of themselves that will teach them all things. They said you don't have need that anybody teach you anything, because that thing that's within you, your true self, your God self, the great I am, it lives within every single man, woman, boy, and girl. And all you have to do is tap into your own self and listen to that, and stop listening to these preachers and these black nationalists filling your head with foolishness. Are any of them going to bail you out of jail? You got the wrong one. So I know too much. I done been past the keeper of the gate. So here's the book that I wrote that is no longer for sale, because I was under the misguided belief that all blacks are the original black Hebrews. There is no Hebrew Israelites. There is no favored race. Listen, like I said, I'm not even going to go there. So the liberals want to mess with me, so here I'm going to start reading from my book that's no longer for sale because it has a bunch of stuff in it that I don't like. But I'm going to start with Uncle Tom Leaders, Sambo Eugenesis, Aid Margaret Sanger, Michelle His Bell, the racist shrew behind the Muppet, Black Nationalism, Twisted and Wrong, the Democratic Party, Entitlement-Seeking Buffoons, White Liberal Apologists Are Sorry, the Bandersnatch Muslim Extremists, and I'll end with the Masonic Government of America. Y'all gonna wish I would have just left me alone, liberals. Alright, peace.